Welcome back to the Game Changers podcast, guys. My name is Taft, and I'm here with my good friend Sarah. I always get a higher pitch when I introduce them. I was like, but I'm so excited that you are on the podcast. I know this has been a long time coming. Actually, I think you were one of the first people I reached out to have as a guest on this podcast.
I'm honored.
And now you're episode 9. So I don't know what happened with the scheduling, but I'm just glad that
we're here now, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Sarah, just give us a little introduction though to who you are, so people know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Just let them know who we are. Okay. My name's Sarah Selvig, and who am I?
Who are you? Philosophical
question. I was gonna hit him with I'm a photographer, but and I was like, that's not who I am. It's what I do.
Period.
Yeah. Well, I am a wife. I'm a photographer. I'll just hit you with the basics. I'm a wife. I'm a photographer. I live in Los Angeles, and I am just on a mission to be a good human and to do good things in the world and do it in good company.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. And you're awesome. You're an awesome friend. You're an awesome person, but a very, very talented, creative.
Stop.
I'm not just going to say photographer, creative. This girl has vision. And I think that that's super special. And even what you and your husband do as a team duo, which I'll have all your guys' links, because they actually do a YouTube channel as well. So if you guys kind of like more of the artsy, docu-style kind of videos, they're really
cute,
awesome.
Coupley stuff,
Cute,
you know?
coupley stuff, which is some of my favorite content. So I'm a fan. I'm a subscriber. No, but it's so awesome.
Sweet.
But yeah, Sarah, I mean, even though right now, career-wise, what you do is more in the creative field, you were an athlete, and I would say you still are athletic. I know that you argue with me on the athlete side, but you're still very athletic. I know, we've hit the gym with each other. You love fitness, working out, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, you're a perfect person to have on this, especially with kind of the mission that we always talk about is athletics is important. I think it's extremely awesome to be an athlete and to own that, but it's not all of who you are. You have a lot more abilities and talents and gifts that the Lord has been so awesome to give you. So with that being said though, what is the biggest piece of advice you would give your younger athlete self?
Yeah, this is such a good question. I thought about it for a hot minute, and I'll try to summarize this shortly, but I think when I was reflecting on my time as an athlete, I was having a hard time trying to give myself advice, because I don't think I would change much about how my athletics and how my athletic career happened. But then I thought a little bit harder. Quickly found some advice to give my younger self.
Too good.
So I think what I came down to was as an athlete, I was, for the first half of my career, I would say I was always the best, and I worked freaking hard, and I loved it. Yeah. And I was a performer. I performed a lot better when I was under pressure. And I think I was performing well and the best because I was lacking an emotional need. And so I found a lot of worth and value in performing well. And, when you get the medal or you win, it's everybody praises you. And so I think what I would tell myself is that winning, it's cool to win, but my value and appreciation that I got from winning wasn't as important as the lessons and the growing in the process to get to, the goal or whatever. My value and my worth don't come from winning. It comes from the growth and the learning and the process of getting to where I wanted to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
No, that's awesome. And I think that's so real for a lot of athletes, where we always want to get to that next thing, whether that's making a team, or that's going from JV to varsity, or varsity to a college scholarship, or championship or conference or like, you know, all of those kinds of things. And our whole goal is as an athlete is to get to that point. You know what I mean? It's like point A to point B. How do I get there? But I know for me as an athlete, the long game was a hard thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, like you were saying, like finding honestly the joy and the value in the process. And as a coach now, I'm seeing that a lot with either my athletes or parents that I have conversations with, of either A, the player is having a very long time with or a very hard time with the process. Like, hey, I'm here, I want to be here, but like I don't want to have this middle area. You know what I mean? I want to be here or here. Or go from here to here. You know, or with the parents, they want their kid to be here. Like immediately. So it's like signing them up for 2 to 3 club teams and this trainer and this practice and that, but not like understanding the value of like, hey, you kind of need to go through a little bit of a process first. Like everybody does, you know what I mean? So I think that speaks a lot of volume.
I think like the family stuff, I think I was performing for my family and for my coaches for attention from those people. And I got it. Like when I performed well, I got praise and attention from family and from coaches. But I think ultimately, like, I would tell myself to perform well, but find the reason to perform outside of for the validation and for the value that it gave for what I did. You know, like, my value didn't come from what I did or how I performed. It comes from who you are and why you do what you do.
Absolutely. Okay, so this actually is a perfect segue to part of your story that I want to dive into is, okay, so you got your value through performance and how people praised you or how you performed in a game or like whatever. But you had a little bit of an injury. On the way. Specifically, I'm sure you had a few just with the sports you played. So if you guys don't know, Sarah did gymnastics and soccer. Those were your two main sports. But with soccer, you had an injury. You had a pretty big injury. So one, I would love for you to dive into as much of that as you want, but also two, where did you kind of like on the mindset side struggle or like have to learn from, now I'm playing, I'm healthy, I'm performing too, I physically can't perform. I physically can't step onto this field. So how did you battle that?
So the injury, I'll just start with what the injury was. So up until my freshman year of high school, I played soccer and it was like my whole heart. I loved soccer, like who I was when I played soccer. The game was just like a safe haven for me. Like it was such a good space. And then my freshman year, my last game, it was like the last 10 minutes of the game. I know it's like so tragic, but it's good. I was running, I had like a breakaway with the ball to the goal, and I just was like running too fast for my body to keep up, like my legs and my hamstring. Like I landed on a straight leg when I was running, and like my hamstring popped my growth plate off of like my pelvis. So I literally ran my butt off. Like, who does that? Me. You can't say I didn't put in everything because I ran my butt off.
She
quite literally
ran her butt off.
But yeah, so that injury happened and it was so quick. Like immediately I went down. Everyone was like, nobody was around her. What just happened? It was just completely self-inflicted. Nobody touched me. And then after that, we figured out what had happened, and it was like a really serious injury. I was on crutches for like 6 months. I had to learn how to walk again. They screwed it back into place. All that to say, I was a player and a person before that injury, and then like you said, like when I stepped back on the field again, it was a totally different game. I was a totally different, at the time, I felt like a totally different person and player. I now know that wasn't the case, but so much of my identity was in sports and in the game that when that happened and it was like a reset button, I stepped back on the field and I like really lost the love for the game and like all of the things I loved about it, like I couldn't find anymore because quite frankly, I went from being the best to being the worst because I like had to learn how to re-walk again, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So mindset wise, it was tough. It was like going from I'm going to play like college soccer and it's going to be amazing to, oh my gosh, am I going to make varsity next year because I can't really kick a ball anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's tough.
It was really tough.
Man, and it just shows so much though that you can't place your identity in sports. Or again, like I say, you can't place your identity in anything that can be taken away from you because it was like this when that injury happened. It's not like it was like a over time you just kind of fell out of love with the game.
Yeah.
It was literally out of your control. And when you have moments like that, I just think that teaches you so much. And obviously we're both Christians, so it's like it helps us get through those things because we know where our identity lies and we know where our worth is, and we know that at the end of the day, like, the Lord has us and He's our provider and He's guiding us, you know what I mean? So these things that happen, we know that can be used for good.
Yeah.
But for those who maybe aren't, like, you know, Christian or not, you know, having their identity, you know, or having their identity placed in other things, it's, like, really tough. And, yeah, I just want to encourage you from that, like, you viewers, like, listeners in here, listening to Sarah's story on, like, you're not invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like almost I think about how when I played in college or got there, it was almost like when you would just release a breath moment of like, oh, I got the scholarship. We're good. Now we can move on. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where very easily I could have had a career-ending injury or an injury that like stopped me from getting that scholarship at certain moments, or you know what I mean? So I think that's an important story for you to tell.
And on a real note, like I have done like a lot of reflecting and refining now, but just as like being real and honest, I did not see it that way when it happened. And also just like, I mean, that happened my freshman year, and then up until my senior year, like I can tell the rest of the story, like how it progressed. But I didn't like realize these things and really like understand the journey and the process and like the true, my identity, like coming out of my identity of being in those things. Like that didn't happen for years later.
Oh, for sure.
So if anybody's going through that, I would just encourage to just, it takes a little bit of time to like unlearn.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and again, like same thing with my story. It was like, it was way into it when I realized my identity was in the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't
just. You
don't
even know until.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Especially too with, I feel like I had like a weird situation where I had another passion, which was content creation. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that stuff, or I was doing photo shoots or YouTube videos, or like, telling people that I want to go to film school.
Yeah.
As I'm like, well, I want to also play college athletics. So it's like, to me, I was like, oh, I have another passion as well. Actually, I thought I was the lucky one where I was like, oh, I have another passion too. So it's not just basketball that I'm in. And then when I actually realized that I placed a lot of value of my worth in how people saw me and my performance of the game, or me being an athlete, I was like, oh, wow. Like it took, I mean, up until my junior year of college for me to realize it. And that's what, you've already played the game for 20 years at that point, or whatever. So I think that's like really important. And so how, mindset wise, what were some maybe advices or moments or specific parts of your story that you're like, I need to get my mindset back, or you know what I mean, or those kinds of things? Were there any pivotal moments?
I'll tell the rest of the story, so how it played out. So I broke my leg. It took me about 6 months to recover, and that was the last game of the season, so I had like the whole off season to recover. And then I was on JV my freshman year, and I like played up a couple times. And then my sophomore year, I tried out for varsity, made varsity, but got benched my whole sophomore year. Played like 20 minutes, like collectively for the whole season, which just like devastated my confidence.
Absolutely.
Just like made me feel like I was incapable of kicking a ball, and I just like spent my entire life kicking balls, and then like I was just crazy. So I was like, you know, in mindset wise, I chalked it up to, okay, this isn't what I like planned for. This isn't what I really wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm a sophomore. I'll get to play next year, whatever. Get to my junior year, try out, whatever, make varsity. And the same thing happens. I get benched my whole junior year.
Yeah, that's tough.
2 years of being benched. And like physically, that obviously not playing the game does something to you, like in your skill set. But mentally, like the mental battle of like going from this thing is like your whole life and your whole love, your first love, and then it's just like mentally watching it just like go down the toilet and sit on a bench and like have to, it's like one thing to like just be like, I'm not playing anymore and like don't watch it, just like don't be a part of it, but to like sit there and like watch it happen and like not be able to play, I was like, wow, something happened to my confidence that like I'm still to this day like recovering from, because it made me feel so incapable and like so like nobody said anything. It was just like, you're benched.
Well,
and so
that's tough.
Yeah, if there was a conversation around it, maybe it would have been different. But mindset wise, I got to the point where I was like, this game that I love so much has turned into this thing that literally sucks the life out of me. Like I can't do it anymore. And I went from like being so excited to play college soccer to saying, I'm giving up this game my end of my junior year. And I walked into my coach's office my senior year and I said, I'm not trying out. I'm done. And she was shocked. She was like, what?
It's funny how coaches will do that.
She was like, what are you talking about? It's your senior year. You can't quit. And I was like, I literally said, I was like, you benched me for 2 years. I can't play. Like, I literally can't play.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, it's your senior year. You'll play this time. And I was like, no, no, I won't. Like, I'm choosing to not play anymore.
Yeah.
And so, but she was shocked. And I was like,
crazy.
that's so weird to me. Like, why?
That is so, coaches, I swear.
But, I mean, mentally, but it was really cool because in that moment, I gave up the game that I loved and, like, I thought my future was going to be about. And I felt like this release. Like, I was like, I'm not a prisoner to this, like, being incapable and like not being worthy of playing the game, like so, and it was just like really freeing. So there was like a lot of mindset stuff going on during that time, because it's, you know, physical, obviously with any athletic sport there's like the physical side, but then there's the mental side and the emotional side, which can be just as hard.
Oh, for sure. And I think you would have had a whole other mental battle if you did get the playing time your senior year.
Yeah.
Because there is such a thing around court or field awareness and feeling it again. It's like anything. Like, even if you miss like a few games or like a weekend tournament because you like sprained your ankle or like whatever, or I had like a thumb injury one time, so like I dribbled the ball super funny. You know what I'm saying? But then you come back and you have to feel it again. And there is such a strong thing with that. So I think you would have had even... It wasn't just like, oh, I got the playing time. Yeah, there's a whole other mental battle there. And then also, too, like, you know, coaches like different schemes. Or I'm not too familiar with soccer, how like you would like set up schemes and stuff. But it's like, now you got to learn that. You got to learn how your teammates are. That's such a thing on the floor, like knowing, and the feel of the game is really important. So, which is like tough. But I would even say one thing that kind of hit me that I just want to like talk about when you were saying how no one ever really like talked to you. It was just like you're benched and that's it. And a big thing that I like to talk about is injured athletes. You still have value. There is still, because I remember I had a teammate who she just had some really unfortunate things happen outside of the court. That it was like an injury on the court, and then there was like some things off the court that related to injuries and stuff like that. And I just, you know, it was a mental battle for her, but she showed up for us in practice every day. She was the biggest encourager. She was the one that when she noticed that you were struggling with, I don't know, like a drill or just mental, she could tell you're getting down on yourself. She was the first one to go over there and cheer you up. Like in the game, like there was even a photo of her like cheering on the bench, like someone hit a big shot and you could see she was the first one up cheering. So you still have a role to play even if you find yourself injured, and you aren't just an injured athlete. You know what I'm saying? You're still an athlete that you have a little bit of a setback. You know what I mean? You're still a person first. But yeah, just like if you're dealing with, if you have a teammate that's injured or you have a teammate that might be going through something, I just so encourage you to be a friend to them. Be a friend to them. And just whether that is, hey, you going up to them and giving them a high five, or like talking to them, or maybe, I don't know, bringing them, like, you go to, I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts before school or something like that, and bringing them a donut to cheer them up, or like just making them feel seen and valued and that they are a part of the team, or including them. Like, I think that's extremely important that we need to continue to do. So that's just my reminder to anyone listening to this who happens to have a teammate who's injured, going through it, because, you know, that could be you.
Yeah.
You're not invincible.
You never know.
It could be you.
Never know when you're going to run your butt off.
You're literally going to run your butt off like Sarah did. So I love, oh my gosh, that's so funny. I know we talked about some like more heavier kind of topics, but I want to kind of switch gears, and because I believe that sports are just so amazing. And honestly, I literally thank God every day that I like just fell into a sports family, and like sports are such a central part of our life, because I'm like, dang, I love this thing. Like,
it's
I love this thing called sports, or being an athlete, or like whatever. So let's talk about some good times, because obviously you had some amazing times with both gymnastics and soccer. So like, give me some highlights of some fun things about childhood and being an athlete.
Oh, so many things like come running into my head, specifically with gymnastics, and just like the positive things that it brought to my life, like the lessons, the experiences, the people. I think gymnastics is like, that sport is so foundational on so many levels, like physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, you just grow so much as a person. One of my favorite things though about gymnastics is that, or was that, your team becomes your family. And like, that's like cliche, right? Everybody says your team's your family. But in gymnastics, it's different. Like, you're in the gym for 4 hours at a time, conditioning your body and like doing these crazy flips and like all this crazy stuff. And your team actually becomes your biggest support system, because you spend so much time with them, but also you're challenging yourself in ways that you wouldn't otherwise challenge. Like, you don't, you know, your brother's not standing beside you at home being like, do the flip, you can do this, like emotionally supporting you in that way. So like the people that I got to do gymnastics with, I went from like 10 years old to 16 years old, you know, or even younger. I think I started gymnastics when I was 4, but I went, like, I like did my whole gymnastics career with a few people, and like we followed each other the whole way through to high school, and those people were my family, and like their moms became my family, and it's just like the closeness that came with that, and like the community, it's just different. Like, I think you know, like,
for sure,
the connection with a teammate is a little different than like a sibling or like your mom or your dad. It's like this really cool relationship that can develop. That was one of my favorite things about gymnastics. I still think about those people. Like, when I think about childhood, I think about being in the gym with them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're right, because gymnastics is very different, where it's funny how it's, I mean, I did gymnastics, but I never competed. But the closest thing I could think about it to is like track, where it's individual when you compete, but your team can still win, which is like a really weird thing, where it's like you're getting your individual score or trophy or advance. But when you do that, you also have others who are doing that, and then it combines, where it's like basketball or soccer, whatever the final score is, that affects the
whole
the
team.
10 to 15 people that are on that team. And I feel like, and I'm sure obviously, you know, you get drama in politics every sport you play, but I think that that's really special, that like with sports like that, especially, I would say especially gymnastics, because it is so hard. You are practicing for so long. It is like a grueling thing that you put your body through. It's almost like you guys just like find find what's the word, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like closeness in the struggle. Like almost, you're like,
no, for real.
I'm dying, you're dying, but hey, we're gonna get through this together, you know?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I was gonna hit on that, and you hit it perfectly. It's like this individual sport. Like you're in not a battle, but you're in this like this game by yourself. But and you're also competing against your own teammates. But it's like you're in this game and it's individual, but you're a team, and like it's just everybody like comes around you to support each other. And what was I gonna say? It's just really beautiful. That sport is underrated in my opinion. It's like it taught me lessons and emotional lessons too that I've never learned anywhere else. Just like challenging yourself and like showing yourself your limits and then surpassing your limits and like proving to yourself that you are capable of like just like literally crazy stuff.
What were some of those techniques to help you push past some things? Like, how did you do that? What was that?
I like go back to my team, because when I couldn't do something, and usually in gymnastics it's not a physical block, like you're strong, like you can do a lot of things. Usually the block comes mentally. When you've never done a skill before and you don't know what it feels like, and your muscles don't know what it feels like to just, or your brain doesn't know what it feels like to just like blindly throw yourself in or twist yourself. And so it's a mental block 9 times out of 10 for me in gymnastics. And that's when my teammates would step in right beside me and be like, do it. Or like my coaches would physically like grab me, show me what it's like put me in the position to like actually get me there. So yeah, just I think go back to the support system and like the overcoming things and the mental blocks and whatnot.
Exactly. No, that's really cool. I think I've like touched on it in multiple conversations, but I went to a camp growing up, and a big part of their camp was going to classroom and talking about mindset stuff, and as an athlete, like actually writing down and like we'd have a notebook. It was always at like a college campus, and you write like you're in class, and they talked about the mindset stuff, and I'm like, there's no way sports are like more of a percentage of mindset than physicality, because I'm like, duh, like you're being physical, you're running, you're jumping, you're hitting, you have contact, like how the heck I was like thought it was reversed, where it was like 80% physical and 20% mental, but it's not. It is so not, because when you think about it, like for you, you know, like you said, throwing these flips that you've never done before, how the heck do you even attempt that? You know what I'm saying? How do you even do that, where it's at least like with kicking a ball, you know, I can move my leg and just like kick it out. You know what I'm saying? Or like with basketball, you know, even if your form looks really ugly, you know, all you gotta do is just throw the ball up and then figure out, but like you're actually flipping. You're going upside down where you're literally could land on your head. You know what I mean? It's scary. So
it is scary.
It is crazy how the mental side, and then obviously too the mental side with like, you know, identity and comparison and those, like, so there's so many different mindset avenues that we could like dive into with that, but I think that's really cool. And you know, recently too, I've had some athletes, like they were younger, I'm like, okay, we're gonna work on a left-handed layup. They literally look at me and they're like, I don't know how. I'm like, well, we're practicing, so we're gonna that's what we're here for you to mess up and do it. But it's hilarious that when the 2 athletes, literally it was last week, 2 athletes said it to me when we were working on left-handed layups, and I said the exact same thing I just said. Well, just we're going to get better today. That's exactly what we're doing. And then they did the left-handed layup, and it went in.
And they're like,
and I'm like, why are you saying that you can't do it when you haven't even tried it? You haven't even tried it. So like, why not? You know what I'm saying? And I think you could probably speak to this, is I love to tell my athletes to work through the messy. So kind of making that awkward, weird phase of you trying to figure out your body, your form, placement, and it feels gross and it feels weird, and no one likes feeling awkward, right? But that's why I like to say, work through the messy. Like, it's okay, embrace the messy, embrace the failures, because if you don't have the messy and the failures, you're not going to have the success.
Right.
And you're not going to reach the quote unquote greatness or mastery of a skill.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important, especially for gymnastics, when you're literally putting your body on the line on a, how thick is the beam?
4 inches.
See, that's terrifying. It's so funny. I'm like, that thing is like, I used to do it, and I actually could have competed. Like, I have the body type of like being smaller and stuff to compete, but I just didn't. But I'm like thinking, I'm like, holy crap, how do these girls do that?
Yeah, it is messy, and it's messy. But that just goes back to like the first thing I said was, now I'm older and wiser, and I can tell myself it's not about the outcome, it's not about winning the medal, it's not about standing on the first place podium. It's about becoming better and growing, and you've probably heard it a billion times, but 1% better, right? Like, it's true. Like, it really is about just growing, and being the best is cool and it'll get you places, but it's not the only thing that you can achieve as an athlete. Like, there's so many more rewards other than just first place. Yeah. Like, for me, like, I wouldn't change anything about my athletic career because of the lessons that I've learned and like what it has shown me in how I was able to escape like pouring my identity into something. I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't break my butt or like, So it is messy. Yeah. Really messy sometimes.
It is
but
messy.
Messy brings us the best things sometimes.
It does. I think that's cool. And I love, though, how, again, I always say this, I feel like, you tell me if you ever felt this, but as an athlete, I feel like we separate sometimes athlete world, real person world. And I think that's weird, where it's like we feel like we have two separate places where it's like, no, you're still one whole. Like, this is a part of it. So, like, these lessons or these things are going to translate to life, or life's going to translate to sports. So it's like, okay, like, with you and your injury, that happened in sports, but how many times in our adult life, or just, like, even if you aren't an athlete, you come across something that is similar to an injury, just those roadblocks, creative roadblocks, you know what I'm saying, just like life roadblocks, like those things where maybe that injury that you experienced is actually going to help you for maybe those things in the future, because we know that we're not promised an easy life, you know what I'm saying, but we need to we're not, and that's very, very accurate. But so I just think that that's really cool, where you can take that injury or the lessons that you learned, but then apply it now.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know, not just be like, oh, that's only because I'm an athlete. Yeah. That's only because of whatever. But, like, no, that's actually helping me in this present day.
Like, shows you what you're capable of. I think it is kind of funny. At the beginning that you said, we kind of, like, have, like, we compartmentalize. Like, I'm an athlete over here, and then, like, this, and these lessons translate, or maybe they don't in the beginning. But it is kind of funny because, like, when you're an athlete, right, you put on a uniform, you enter into a new space. It is, like, kind of natural that you would have an identity over here, because you're literally dressing up. Like, when I'm in the gym, I put on a leotard. I am Sarah the gymnast. And it makes sense, because you're literally, you don't run around school in a leotard and, like, you know, like. No.
You're there for gymnastics.
Right. So it is so easy to, like, to lose the lessons, or to have the lessons you learn over here as Sarah the gymnast and, like, not translate them. But they do translate, and it's like, I think it's just all about, like, perspective and mindset, really. I think ultimately it all comes back to mindset and perspective, and how your perception, and, like, being able to take the mess, like an injury over here in the soccer field, and instead of being sad that I don't get to play college soccer anymore, I'm like, whoa, like, this is a lesson, and this has, like, just shifting that mindset to, this is not a good or a bad thing. This is a thing that happened, and now it's my responsibility to do something productive with it. Even if it feels bad, it's not bad. Yeah. It's just different. And different scares people. It scares me. Yeah. But being able to just, like, shift your perspective and, like, use something bad for good. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
I love that. So I have a fun question for you. So obviously, one day, like, I know you want to have kids, and whatnot. And I literally can't wait for little Sarah and Josiah's to be like running around. I can so see you. Like, it's so funny though, because when I like look at you, I'm like, I could so see a little gymnast or soccer player. Like, there's no other sport that I see. I like literally could see this little munchkin running around like shin guards and a cleat. Like, I just think it's the cutest thing ever. What will you, from the lessons that you've learned? Okay, I'm gonna challenge you with this question.
Give it to me.
The lessons that you've learned, how is the approach, or what is the approach that you would like to take with your children when they play sports? And kind of how would you have wanted maybe your mom or something like that lean into you? You know what I'm saying? Or how, like, that's a cool question.
Oh, this question is tough because I could give you like the watered down version, or I could give you the honest, real, like vulnerable.
You do what you want to do. This is a...
Okay, so I think, one, I'm going to get my kids in sports early just so that they have like body awareness.
It's healthy.
Girl, I'll tell you what, I am like a walking hazard, but because gymnastics, like, I have body awareness and like I know how to fall. I know how to, like, if I drop something, instantly my foot goes bam and catches it. Because of soccer. So, like, just get them into sports, specifically gymnastics, because it's so foundational and it's so mentally, it's just so good. Just challenging.
I think any kid should do gymnastics, some type of tumbling or gymnastics.
Yeah, just to have the, like, the ground is here and I'm here and, like,
literally.
But so I think, like, being a mom and encouraging my kid in sports specifically, I think it's never going to be about winning, because for me in the game, no matter what game I was playing, it was like I had to be the best. And when I wasn't the best, it hurt. Like, I got mad. My emotions were like, dang it. Like, and I'm still like kind of understanding that competitiveness, like, still now as an adult. But for me, I would just want to encourage my kids that it's not about winning. It's not about being the best. It's about being better than you were the day before. And as a mom, I think the number one thing for me is just showing up and being a support for my kids, being on the sidelines, cheering them on, going to every meet that they have, passing out the oranges to all the kids, you know, the whole 9 yards. I think just, like, obviously there's limitations to showing up, but just never letting my kid feel like it's they don't have somebody showing up for them. Because what's the point of doing a sport and when you don't have anybody, like, cheering you on? You know, it's like, what's the point? So I don't know, just like making sure that they're supported.
That's so sweet.
Yes,
I love that so much. One, because I was personally blessed with that with, like, my family, and I know I'm a coach's daughter, but still my mom was showing up as well, very present, very, like, a crucial part of my athletic career as well. She filled a lot of gaps that if I didn't have her, would have been a different story for sure. But also, too, to even challenge some parents out here, because now, like, I'm in the coaching realm and I see it. You know what I mean? You might not think I see it, but I see how you act towards your kids. And you might be that parent that shows up. You might be at every practice. You might be there to pick them up, to drop them off. You're at every single game. You're buying them the gear, the equipment. I think that's fantastic and amazing. And I know that your child is very lucky to have you, because a lot of kids don't have that. But when they get in the car after a practice or a game, is that a safe space? And I want to challenge you parents in that. Because there have been many cases where it has been a teammate of mine or an athlete where I know for sure they stepped into that car and they're getting ripped to pieces.
It's criticized.
And that's not your job.
Yeah.
And I know that that's tough, and I know a lot of parents will probably, that's a hot take, and the parents will probably not like me for saying that.
No,
but
it needs to be said.
But it needs to be said.
There's a balance.
There's a balance. And it's okay to challenge your kid. There's a difference. It's okay to challenge your kid. And honestly, hopefully one day, I want to be a parent, so if I'm not coaching my kid and they get in the car, the thing that I'm going to be mad at them for is effort or their attitude, or were they a good teammate, or were they listening to their coach?
Right.
If those things weren't there, okay, I'm probably going to rip you for a second. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not how you should operate.
Right, the values.
I know that we all have bad days, we all have bad games, we all have this, but like, what are your controllables? Are you focusing on the controllables? That I'm okay with having a little hard talk with, but performance based. You know what I'm saying? And parents, I know you're pouring a lot of money into your kid.
That's real.
You are pouring a lot of money, but you're not pouring a lot of money so that you look good or that your value as a parent goes up because of how your kid performs. You're pouring money into your child because that's what your child wants to do, and they want to be successful in that area, so you're finding resources to help them. So please, I just urge you, and I know that I'm not a parent, and I know that like there's going to be these things that I'll probably have emotions with when I have a kid, or just being a competitor, you know, so I will revisit this stuff. You know, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to like be the perfect parent, and I know what I'm talking about, but I also too am like please separate how your kid performs for how you see them. Yeah. Because I have just seen multiple close relationships of mine where their parent, they don't trust their parent anymore to come to them with issues or to come to them with hard things, or they messed up so I can't go to my parent based off of sport performance. Right. And I think that that's a very real thing. And I just want to challenge you who are listening to this, if you are a parent, to maybe sit back and reflect on that, because it is a make or break for your kid's career. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And just like on a personal level, like if you are treating your kid with that mentality of like criticism and harsh critique, it's like you're showing them conditional love. Like they're only being rewarded with love and affection if they perform well, which also goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning of this, which is your value and worth isn't determined by your performance. Nope. And so as a parent, like you are feeding this narrative. If you treat your kids like that, you're feeding this narrative of conditional love. Like you only get praise and reward if you perform. And there's a lot of, like, that's tough to grow out of too. So it is like this balance, I think, of just loving your kid unconditionally and letting them follow their intuition. Yeah. And let them become the best at their sport. Like, obviously support them, show up for them, encourage them, you know, challenge them, but love them unconditionally, regardless of their performance or like anything sport related. Yeah. Just,
love them. Yeah, because sports aren't the all and be all kind of thing. Did I say that right? I don't know, but you know what I'm talking. I was like, why does that sound wrong? I feel like I said that wrong, but it's not the end game. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, you know, I've seen many players pour their whole life into a sport, and then they hit like their freshman or sophomore year of high school and just said, you know what, I want to go play this sport, or I want to go do a completely different route. And I think that's okay, because I think we personally in our adult life do that all the time, where we have one thing and we really want to do it, and then hey, we hit a different season of life and we realize maybe that was just for a season. It wasn't for the rest of our lives or whatever. And finding out who they are and like giving a safe space to grow and figure that out, I think is like super important. But
we'll see if we can do that when we have kids.
I know.
We'll see.
I know it will be challenging. You know what I mean? Because it's
definitely.
like, obviously, like when you're a competitor by nature, that goes into a lot of different aspects of your life. But it's just a conversation that I've had with myself or other people that is important to me, that I'm like, I want to prep for when I have a parent, when I'm a parent, you know what I'm saying? Or at least be like aware of it. So if I do, because I know I'll mess up, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, how can I quickly shift or rotate from that and become better? You know what I mean? And which is, you know, good. And who knows when those kids are coming? It's probably going to be
little kiddos.
But yeah, so I thought that was, you know, cool, just because, you know.
Yeah, I see it too. I'm like, little Jim, I'm like, I want to be that soccer mom. Like, I'm yes.
I could so see you. I literally just, I can't wait till your kids are like that 5, 6 age, and they're really, that's going to be the cutest age like,
oh my gosh,
they start especially the tumbling stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you can start tumbling as a little kid, it's like
Josiah's
the
gonna have
thing.
him flipping so young. Like,
yes.
I can already tell. Yeah.
It's so precious.
It is funny though, like thinking about my kids and what sports they'll do if they'll do sports. Because my mom was a soccer player and a gymnast as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she never pressured me to do either of those sports.
Wow.
She just
happened.
Introduced them to me both, and I chose both. And like, it wasn't until I was like 15 that I realized that my mom poured her life into soccer and gymnastics. She was a gym dog at UGA. She played adult soccer, and like I was like, whoa. And it made me feel closer to her because like cool. I just chose the sports that she chose on my own. It was never like pushed on me. But
that's special.
That'd be cool if my kids chose those. Like selfishly, I'm like, please choose those sports. But also it's like, because I'll be honest, if I was like a softball mom, I'd be like, how do these rules work?
I was just gonna say that. I'm like over here like, yeah, my kid can pick any sport, but they pick baseball or softball, and I'm like, no.
I don't know.
I'm like, no, just kidding. It's selfishly though, because I don't want to sit outside for that long.
I know.
But I will let my kid choose. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I would say my family is a primarily basketball family, like one being a coach's daughter. My mom played. Obviously my dad played. I have a few like professional athletes in my family. My uncles coached high-level teams. My grandpa played semi-pro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I swear I would be willing to bet 70% of my family's occupation is in sports. So it's just like, I always like to joke saying it's in our blood. But I chose it. It was never like a pressure to do it. Because again, I wanted to be a director in Hollywood. Like that was literally like at one point in my life, that's where I was going. And I thought that that's what it was. And then when the Lord brought the game back to me, it was so apparent that like this is part of my purpose and my calling.
Right.
Where it was like, whoa, but it was organic. Yeah. And that's why I love it, because it's organic. It's not because I felt pressure, but it is funny because it's like, obviously selfishly I want my kids to be little basketball players and
of course,
ballers
of course,
and stuff. I actually kind of like hope my son plays football. I'm a huge football fan, so I'm like, well, you can play football, it's okay, but it's like I'm more curious on what sport they're going to find liking to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And again, and just exposing them to every sport. Okay, what do you like? Yeah. What do you pick up on? What is this? And like, you know what I mean? Because I want them to feel it, like that they have individuality. You know what I'm saying? Even though mom is over here coaching basketball, like you could do swimming. You know what I'm saying? You can do anything. Like, you know what I mean? I might not be able to help you. I might not know much about swimming or how to hit a baseball or whatever, but go off.
No, the versatility is super important, I feel like, because like, I think me and Josiah both are, like, versatile, athletic people, but we always joke, and we're like, because we're super athletic, we're like, oh, our kid's gonna, like, be the captain of the chess team and, like, never do a sport ever, or, like, something like that. We just joke, but no, the versatility is super important, and, like, letting them choose, I think, is really important, too.
Exactly. You know, wishful thinking. It's fun.
Dreaming.
It's so fun. But yeah, Sarah, so before we head off, is there anything that you want to like leave us with, or ending the conversation that's maybe been on your mind or your heart?
Around anything, or just like
anything.
Athletics? No, I think I'll just leave it with like a lesson that has been on me lately. Just going back to like mindset and the power of mindset, and obviously this is a big one for athletics, but also just like in my journey with Jesus and just who I am as a person. Mindset is the most powerful, if not the most powerful thing, like I've really like leaned into, and just having this ability to like lean into gratitude no matter what circumstances are. Like they're obviously like pain and suffering, and that's all very real here on earth, and I'm not discrediting anybody's pain or suffering, but like there is always some way to shift your mindset to use something for a growing opportunity, a learning opportunity. I've just like really been understanding more like the real power of mindset, and just being grateful, and just not sitting in the suffering. Like, it's okay to be in pain, but it's not okay to stay in pain. Like, we have to like move out of it. So yeah, just perception, perspective, staying grateful. That's been huge for me lately. Just like staying in that gratitude.
There's a
lot to be grateful for.
There's a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah, like every day. I'm like, bro, every day I wake up, literally every day I wake up and I say to myself, whoa, God chose me to have another day. I get a whole another day.
Same here.
And that little habit of like waking up and saying that, I'm like, oh, like I go through my whole rest of my day like, God gave me another day. Huh, what should I do with it?
That's so sweet. I love that so much. Yeah, we're not promised it.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think that that's really special, and I love that little ending point. So, with that being said, swish. With that being said, where can people find you? On the socials.
People can find me on Instagram at Selz, SARZSELZ. And then also our business is Made Wild Creative. Josiah and I, my husband, we run a creative house. We do photo and video, content creation, lifestyle, documentary, all that fun stuff.
So talented.
Yeah, we've actually worked with Jay a few times.
They have.
Go check her out. She's freaking modeling like nobody's business up on our page. And then we also have a YouTube channel now. We're trying to grow on YouTube. We want to do something really cool with that platform. Just spreading, like I said, that mindset of gratitude and creativity. We want to inspire people with creativity. That's kind of the main goal for YouTube. And you can find us there at, what is it, Sarah and Joe's?
It's Sarah and Joe's.
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube.
See, I'm a subscriber. I know it.
Find us on YouTube at Sarah and Joe's.
I love it.
Yeah.
All of it will be linked below, but Sarah,
I love you.
Thank you so much
You're
for being
so
on
welcome.
the podcast.
I'm like truly honored. I think this is really cool that you would want to do this.
And actually, side note, I didn't even like mention this, is a lot of the branding around Game Changers or the Game Changers logo or cover photo, this chick took it. This chick took it. She came up with the concept and like put all the like set design together with it, and so pretty much the podcast cover would not have been possible unless this chick took the photo.
Yeah, I took the photo, but it was definitely like your vision, and I executed it. So
you had a lot of creative control over that, girl. We collabed, but you had a lot of
I humbly accept the compliment. Okay.
Good, as you should, because I want you to. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the Game Changers podcast. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all those things. Any topics that you guys want us to chat about, I would love to know, because I'm here to serve you guys. I mean, I have a lot of stories, but I want to make sure that I'm serving you guys first and foremost. So, yeah, well, with that being said,
wait. I just want to say one more thing.
Okay, you can say one more thing.
Guys, Jay pours her heart and soul into everything she does, and I think she needs a little brag just very quickly. This girl is dedicated to loving and coaching and supporting people, and I see it, and I just wanted to amplify it for you and for your listeners, because, you know, they don't see all of the hard work that goes behind it, and I've seen it, and I'm like, girl.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was really encouraging.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes.
Peace.